Hello and welcome back for the second last time.
Whoa. For the whole year.
For the whole year. It's
Wow.
Christmas time. We're going to take a break after these two matches, but we got a semi-final. Right now we have, what is our semi-finals? We've got Michael Billinghurst. We've got Brendan Crawford. Teammates, perhaps. And on the other side of the bracket, we have Chifley Cole and Nathan Smale.
Yes.
Not teammates.
Not teammates.
Let's have a look at these standings, actually, while we've got a sec here. Before the players are ready, we can see the top 8 there. We haven't updated it for the top 4, but 1, 2, 3, and 5 winning their quarterfinals.
Very spicy.
Yeah, that first turn advantage, getting the win for Chifley, Brennan, Michael, and Nathan. Condolences to Kyle, Hunbin, Kieran, and Richard, but they won some stuff as well. They got a cool trophy.
Can you believe our year-long points winner? We will not be seeing him in the finals.
That's right. Let's put him on screen one more time. We just haven't seen enough of this fella all day.
My goodness, there he is.
Incredible record. Hasn't managed to continue it today. 3-1-1 today and a loss in the quarterfinals, but alas, we can't all be that insane.
And look, the results that he put up still incredibly impressive. I'm sure that if I updated his overall matches won today, he would still far and away be the top of the field.
That's
so
right.
Huge round of applause to Richard Owen, our overall points leader for the 2025 Open Series.
It's the last time, I promise. Well, we're down at the table. We've got Michael Billinghurst on the bottom side of the table in the teal sleeves, playing Blue Moon. On the top of the table, we have Brendan Crawford in the black sleeves, playing Storm, of all things.
Very generous of you to keep putting me on commentary when Blue Moon is on the feature, because I am definitely not biased at all. I'm very reasonable when it comes to discussing Blue Moon and that kind of thing.
Look, there's a lot of different commentary dynamics, and one of the ones that I am a huge fan of is actually when each of the commentators picks a side.
Oh, okay.
We try to normally provide some unbiased commentary.
Yeah.
We don't have a favourite in this race. I'm not definitely going to dinner with one of these people after this event.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can just be like, I really like this one, and you can be like, I really like this other one, and we can, have some heckling.
I'll take Blue Moon.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Storm, so.
Okay. I'll take Storm. You can take Blue Moon.
But you're the expert on the blue.
Well, I play it. Well, and look, something that Billinghurst confided in me that we can share with our beloved listeners at home. Billinghurst specifically took out Ashiok and Flusterstorm because he was not expecting anyone to be playing Storm today due to the recent points update.
Right. And who's responsible for the points update? Billinghurst is on the committee.
Oh, crazy.
So choosing to make the update so that he could streamline his own sideboard. Well, look where that got you. You're now playing against one of the best Storm pilots, one of the best Magic players, perhaps, in the country, in the semi-finals. Have you played this matchup? How do you feel being in the Blue Moon seat?
I have not played this matchup.
Okay.
And it's largely because I was in the position of saying, I don't think I will ever get paired against Richard Owen.
If you lose round 1, then, you get
exactly,
Richard
that's
all
what
day.
I'm saying. Well, Richard lost round 1 today, which was crazy.
Yeah.
But no, I have not practiced this matchup. What I have seen of Storm is that it's all at once.
Yeah.
The Storm hits all at once for the most part. So I favor Blue Moon in this position. If Billinghurst is able to really out-tempo Storm, because, Brennan has some amount of counter spells.
Normally just the free days and perhaps a spell pierce.
Maybe, but actually, I'm looking at this right now. No counter spells.
Huh.
So,
Veil of Summer.
Sure, Veil of Summer, but, we not on coverage at the table when we were watching the quarterfinals finish, Brennan was starved for green mana for a period of time.
Oh, right.
So, if Billinghurst is able to stay really incredibly aggressively on pace and is able to just counter, tempo, bounce, do whatever he needs to do to keep Brennan kind of on the back foot, I really favor Blue Moon, but also I would favor Blue Moon in most matchups. Except Grixis. I am well aware that Grixis is not a very fantastic matchup.
I got some word from Billinghurst quarterfinal. It was, in fact, is that a main deck Carpet of Flowers? You're a menace.
Main deck Carpet of Flowers with...
Wow.
And that's going to eat Mental Misstep, and this is what I said about counterspells.
Yeah. What I was going to say is there was a Blue Moon Mirror in the quarterfinals. Michael Billinghurst versus Han Bin Zhao. And Billinghurst told me that he won game 1 off the back of a back to basics.
Let's go.
In the mirror.
Hell yeah.
Your opponent's playing like 7 basics. What's up with that?
Well, look, if you can stick your back to basics when your opponent has potentially on turn 1 fetched for a Thundering Falls, turn 2 fetched for a Steam Vents, and then maybe has a Spire Bluff Canal or a River Pyre Verge. And,
even just one land, yeah.
Yeah, and you
one
just,
basic.
if you happen to catch them just a little bit off guard, I think it's pretty favored, but it could be also one of the situations of the first player to back to basics is going to win.
Alright, so we saw Surveil Keep Portent.
Is that oh, that's Portent.
Yes, that's the original artwork.
It looked a little bit like Tinker almost to me.
Sure,
I was momentarily confused going, I don't see an artifact to do this with.
And if I'm giving some info on Billinghurst's quarterfinals, here's one from Brennan's quarterfinals. He was stuck under an opponent's High Noon, cast a Tinker, got a Chaos Defiler, blew that up. And then Kieran, on our Mardu pilot in the top 8, was like, okay, cool, here's my Stony Silence. And Brennan said, okay, beseech the mirror, bargain with my Chaos Defiler, blow up your Stony Silence. I'm going to take all of the game actions for the rest of this game now.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Inquisition of Kozilek is going to reveal Blood Moon, Spell Snare, Quantum Riddler, Lose Focus, and the obvious choice is... Blood Moon.
Blood Moon, yeah.
Who's surprised?
Yeah, I mean, look, Brennan does have one fetch land in play here that could get a basic. So it wasn't, immediately destroyed by this Blood Moon if he was to leave it there. There's some merit to leaving it there and having your opponent just cast it and tap all their lands. But then you've also got to worry about, hang on, what if they don't do that and I'm just giving them turn 3 for free? So we're playing a 2-drop of some sort. It's getting Spell Snare. The 2-drop's Grim Monolith.
That's a pretty good 2-drop to Spell Snare.
Yeah, and Billinghurst playing the land from the pile there, so Lose Focus with Replicate available. Not playing this Riddler.
Well, again, it's very open-faced. Like, Billinghurst has a ton of counters, and notably, this is the only basic that Brennan has in his deck. And so if Billinghurst is able to rip a back-to-basics off the top, that could be incredibly dangerous. Like, what we're seeing right now, Brennan tapping out, tapping down everything.
Yeah.
If there is a back-to-basics on the top of Billinghurst's deck, please say yes. Please say yes. It would just be backbreaking, right? You send the Storm player down to a single swamp, to Warp, Quantum Riddler, draw 2.
I'm surprised to not see a basic island. Even in the sideboard, this swamp is the only one in the 75. I've played a lot with Richard Owen, and I've got to tell you, he always had 2 basics whenever I drew Magus of the Moon.
Yeah. Brennan's points are Lotus and Tinker.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You don't get much else.
Yeah. I mean, especially with Lotus to 5 now. Like, that's all there really is available for you.
Yep. So, Quantum Riddler in the Warp Zone. Lutri hiding out there. That one's in the sideboard, if you wanted to be technical about its location.
Yeah. Technical sideboard location. Sometimes also your 8th card in your hand.
It will be one day.
Yeah.
But
not right now.
Brainstorm the play here for Brennan. So he knows nothing about Billinghurst's hand now. There's been, we've got through all of the counter spells so far.
I think the Lose Focus is still...
Now, the Lose Focus hit the Night's Whisper last time.
Oh, very good.
Even replicated.
Woo.
And, replicating that means that Billinghurst doesn't know that there's no counter spells.
Yeah, it's true.
Interesting.
And look, there's a world in which playing it better safe than sorry is pretty reasonable. But you'd have to imagine that you can kind of intuit. Brennan's points are Tinker, Black Lotus. There's no Mana Drain. There's no Force of Will then. There's no Mental Misstep because there's no points available, right?
Yeah, okay. So it's Force of Negation and Daze. And you're not playing Force of Negation in this deck. It's not blue enough.
Is this Ensnaring Bridge?
That is a Chromatic sphere.
Chromatic sphere. Okay. Well, lots of ways for Brennan to attempt to generate mana of preferred colors should
Yeah.
the need arise.
Yeah, back to basics, much more powerful than Blood Moon in the matchup.
Imagine not getting to have your lands untap.
I can't imagine such a universe. That would be horrific. Who would inflict that upon someone?
Looks like we cycled Lorien revealed. So we fetched a Thundering Falls. We island cycled a Lorien revealed, grabbing a basic snow-covered swamp.
Island.
Sorry, island. My goodness. Billinghurst isn't playing any swamps. And then it looks like it's gone. Oh, no, it's still on Brennan's turn. Oh, no, and back to Billinghurst. Ponder off the top.
Oh, I hate it.
You don't like the turtle ponder?
No, I remember trying to read what this card was and I couldn't figure it out.
It's turtle ponder.
It sure is a ponder. One of the ponders of all time.
You know what? With that art, with like the pizza and the hot dog, this could be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles card.
It's
almost.
true. Honestly, I don't mind it because it... Ooh.
Harbinger of the Seas! Flood moon, flood moon, flood moon, flood moon.
I don't mind it because it is actually picking between three.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an important factor of ponder. You know, it can't just be any man pondering an orb.
It's
it has
true.
to be something about picking between three. But you chanted about it. It is here.
Let's go!
The Harbinger of the Seas. Non-basic lands are islands.
Ruh-roh.
Billinghurst no longer has any red sources in play. Those are all islands. But Brennan has 4 islands and a swamp.
Tinker.
And a bolus of Citadel.
Tinker grabbing Citadel. There was a very funny conversation that was going back and forth on, Reddit pages about, oh, Tinker's not even that good, blah, 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 puts it into your hand, and someone was like, you should reread what Tinker does.
It's not Fabricate.
It does not go into your hand.
It is a pretty silly card here.
Oh, Chia's in the chat. Hi, Chia.
We got some folks in the chat. We got Chia, we got Oh Captain, My Captain, we got Capers, the inventor of food mid-range.
Woo.
By the way.
Right.
If you haven't seen it yet, that is a deck.
So, I am hoping that Billinghurst here has a force of some flavor.
I kind of want to see Brennan do it. Let's see. What a way to start the chain!
Gee, so you start with your opponent cannot cast any blue spells this turn?
Your spells can't be countered by blue spells this turn.
Great.
And your stuff has hexproof from blue and black.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And then a duress to reveal the expressive iteration mountain, so shields completely down. Let's keep the life total up to date here, because that is as relevant as possible.
Yep. We've a reminder in chat here. This is Brooksy Erasure. Caper's wish is he invented food mid-range.
Well, I mean, Brooksy needs to be more vocal about it then.
Aha.
If you don't use your patent, then it expires, So Brennan, storm count of 3, still 13 life, pretty healthy, able to cast cards off the top of the library. Doesn't have many cantrips to be drawing into with I guess there's still a few. With Brainstorm and Portent gone, you're worrying about bricking the top of your library. There's still 2 islands in play for it.
Well, I was just about to say, this looks like a pause of, I can't continue right now.
Yeah, only 1 land in hand. Perhaps considering maybe there's a card like Beseech the Mirror on the top of the library, where it's only useful if you were to sacrifice this.
It is Beseech the Mirror on top.
Anyone ever had a read like that in their life? Where they're just like, this
Jimbo.
is what my opponent is counting here.
How did you do that?
And deciding whether to bargain or not. You don't have to bargain. You can just go get Black Lotus, for example.
Sure.
Depending on what the card in hand is. And this is going to shuffle the top of the library.
Spider-Man, Ponder, Krabby Patty food. We have strayed from God is what Force of Wilkes is reminding us.
All right, so does bargain away the Citadel, in fact. So going to be casting the card.
Wow.
Here. What are we getting? It's got to be Will, right?
Yogg's Will.
So there is Will. Storm count is up to 5. What's in the graveyard to replay? There's a couple of cantrips and a sphere. Only access to 3 mana right now, no rituals. You really need to find a ritual at the very least. You're only going to get a single use out of it, though.
And you only have one black mana available.
Yeah, so I'm going to assume casting like a brainstorm.
So Chromatic Sphere is going to be one of them.
Okay, so
Sacrifice the Chromatic Sphere to draw a card. So
to make green.
to make green to play a card.
Okay, now go to second main phase. Harbinger of the Seas. By the way, all those non-basics are islands. So we're making 5 mana off that. Casting Grim Monolith, 3 mana floating. And it's probably blue mana, I'm assuming. No, it's black. I'm getting fooled here. Beseech the Mirror.
Probably Tendrils then.
That's getting Tendrils.
Yeah.
And Billinghurst is on 13. There is 9 Tendrils of Agony coming at ya.
Tendrils, you. Billinghurst had already picked it up. Brennan's just like, just let me find it really quick. Just let me grab it out of the tech, okay? Let me show you that I have it. Tendrils, you. It's like, okay. I'm putting my hands up. You got me.
Wow. Well, that didn't go well for Billinghurst. For any Blue Moon fans in the chat.
It almost went well.
It almost did.
It almost went well. And then it didn't.
Let's look at the sideboard. Let's go with Billinghurst's sideboard first. Down a game, looking at the sideboard, I see 4 blasts, but I also see a Shadow of Doubt.
Oh, what does Shadow of Doubt do, Jimbo?
2 mana, instant. Players can't search libraries this turn. Draw a card.
Very nice. That's a nice little cantrip.
It can turn off a fetch land, a little bit of one-she tong action here, but it can also, your opponent casts to Beseech the Mirror. You're just like, counter that, draw a card. Thank you very much. Thanks for sacrificing your Citadel. Let's go to the next one. Consigned to Memory, also a standout in the sideboard here. Not as good now that Tezzeret and Manavolt both being pointed out of the deck. That card was very good when it could hit Storm Triggers and Tezzeret and Monolith and Manavolt and all of the others.
Let's just keep naming cards.
Now it can hit, Storm Triggers and Monolith.
Yep.
And Chromatic Sphere. Congratulations. There's also the 4th moon in the sideboard, the Magus. Narset, also worth a look in. So really it depends on how many you've got to take out.
It's looking a little dicey. I'm still in the moons camp. I still believe in moons, but it's looking a little dicey. Again, this storm is so predictably unpredictable in that way.
How flavorful is it that, when it is a stormy night, you can't see the moon, can you?
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing there.
Well, what's in the sideboard on the other side of the match?
Let's look at what's in Brennan's sideboard.
Brennan up a game here. No basics in the sideboard, but I'm seeing Beseiju Who Endures in the sideboard. I'm seeing a couple of blasts. One blast.
One blast. There's a Vivi or Nitier.
This could be a time where the Chaos Defiler comes in as a card that you can sort of either tinker for or even cast through a Blood Moon.
Ooh, is it an artifact creature?
It is an artifact creature.
Oh boy.
We'll bring it up on the screen because it's a little bit niche. If you haven't played Commander or exactly this
card, right?
Then you don't know what this card is. It's a weird one.
It's a Warhammer card, if I remember.
It is a Warhammer card.
Wow.
Yeah. When it enters or dies, for each opponent, you destroy one of their non-land permanents. For each opponent, you choose a permanent and destroy one of them at random. In a one-on-one, of course, you're going to pick one of Brennan's permanents and destroy exactly that one.
This is why, Maddening Hex is really cool in a 1v1 format. Because, you attach, it's a curse that you attach to an opponent, and then when they cast a spell, you roll a d6, they take damage, and then attach it to one of your opponents at random. My only opponent, I'm going to choose you randomly.
I'm not going to lie, I forgot that line was on the card.
Yes. Well, it's one of those cards that, it's a niche commander card. It has some applications. It's more, it's put into chaos decks of, I'm just trying to, be funny.
Mess around, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But, in a 1v1 environment, those cards are so much more powerful, right? It's also why, the initiative is so unbelievably strong, or the monarch is so unbelievably strong in a 1v1 format, because it's so easy for one player to just kind of take the reins and not let go.
Yeah, these mechanics that are really designed for multiplayer, they've always had an impact on any format that's allowed them to be in there. Council's Judgment, one of the older ones, 1 white. For each opponent, everyone votes on a permanent that you don't control, and any of the ones with the most votes gets exiled. It doesn't target, so that was the premium anti-True Name Nemesis answer. But in the first couple of weeks it was online on Magic Online, the votes were private. And there was this strange mind game where, like, you could vote for your opponent's second best permanent, and they had to vote for one of their permanents. And obviously, you're voting for their best one, so they're going to vote for their best one, and they only lose the one permanent. But if you voted for the second best, then
they'll vote for the best one, and then they both lose both.
So you ended up in this sort of mind games there, which is not how the card works.
That's really intense.
Well, we were talking last time we were in the booth together, actually, about Lutri, about the value that it gained from Storm losing percentage points in the metagame. And here we are.
Here we are. Lutri staring down the Citadel.
Yeah, Lutri sort of, premium when you have the time for it. If you just have 3 mana to add it to your hand and then get another free 3 mana to copy one of your spells, this card's great. When you're playing against an opponent who wants to end the game and keep you on the back foot and keep you in a position where you have to act on their terms.
Yeah.
You don't have the time for this silly little otter.
You have to imagine Billinghurst as well is still in potentially a, situation of not knowing or knowing whether or not Brennan has counterspells.
Yeah.
Because
this isn't an open decklist tournament.
Yeah. It is not open decklist. And obviously, like, Billinghurst should be very well aware, again, the 7 points in Brennan's deck are Tinker, Black Lotus.
Yeah.
It should be very open faced then that you don't have, as we said previously, Mana Drain, Mental Misstep, Force of Will.
Yep.
All of those good ones. You would have Daze, you would have good old Counterspell.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything that costs more than 1 mana.
Exactly.
So Daze, Force of Negation, Spell Pierce, nothing more than that.
But as we know, because we have access to Brennan's deck list, there's none of those cards in there, unfortunately.
Nothing to worry about. Just jam it.
The main deck, I'm still so floored over the main deck Carpet of Flowers.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Incredibly influential in that exact game.
Yes.
We saw that being literally the deciding factor, the ability to replay that card to make 5 mana. The biggest ritual by far.
Very, very important. Very important.
So these players shuffling up. We saw a couple of mulligans in the last game. Reckon we'll see some 7s. Well, let's hope.
Fingers crossed Billinghurst will be on the play for this one.
It's post-board, so you've got more high-impact cards and fewer blanks. But on the other hand, you really want a mulligan for those high-impact cards.
Yeah. Back to basics. Back to basics.
Yeah, you really want turn 1 counterspell, turn 2 counterspell, turn 3 back to basics.
Seems like it would go down pretty well.
Billinghurst saying this 7 is not it, actually.
And again, I think it's difficult when you're on the play to make that call.
Yep.
But the deck really does want, like you said, it wants to make it to turn 3 with either a Harbinger, Magus, Blood Moon, back to basics readily available. And so that means interaction or card refinement in some way. You need to be able to get there.
I'm interested to see whether the 4th Moon came in here. 3 in the main deck, of course, back to basics, Blood Moon, and Harbinger of the Seas. Magus the Moon sitting in the sideboard, determined to be the worst of the 4. I actually think it's better than Harbinger if you have access to both.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so. Like, against the field, giving them a pile of blue mana, they're more likely to be able to use that blue mana than the red mana. I
feel like it's very matchup dependent. When it comes to Grixis, cutting them off of red seems to be very good because it shuts down their Pyroblasts and their red elemental blasts and their lightning bolts. Yeah,
that's the flip side, is that, if you play a Magus of the Moon and they're like, well, lightning bolted off my watery grave, thank you.
Yeah. No, it's basically free.
Yeah. But, you're right, it is matchup dependent. Obviously, if you're playing against Mardu and you draw Magus of the Moon, you're going to be like, wish this card was blue, honestly.
Wish it was a Harbinger of the Seas.
Alright, tap land.
Oh, jeez, Louise. That's a Carpet of Flowers again, and Billinghurst fires off the fastest days.
Oh, yeah, so that was turn 1. Fetch my my Surveil land, keep on top, and then immediately daze your Carpet of Flowers. What a card. And Carpet of Flowers, such a sweet answer to Blood Moon.
Yeah, very fantastic. What's this double card that Brennan's representing there?
Brennan was actually very generous there and flashed it to us on the
Oh,
camera.
it was a sink into stupor.
It was sink into stupor
I see.
/ soporific springs.
Yes, indeed.
So a tap land each. Billinghurst was on the play, but is down a land in the comparison. And we're milling over the Tashana's Tidebinder. So that came in out of the sideboard.
Wowee.
And speaking of cards coming in out of the sideboard, we have a Corey Steel Cutter, and that is met with a Force of Will, exiling Consider.
You're very on the money there with counterspell.
Yeah.
Something else.
I mean, ideally you've got the turn 3 moon, but that's not going to happen after the days.
No, unfortunately not.
There is a back to basics in hand as well.
Come on, back to basics.
So you're hoping for, like, I don't know, play a cantrip and a sphere this turn or something like that.
Yep. Something relatively inconsequential. Get Brennan to completely tap out.
Yeah, even if you only nabbed 2 here, say if the play was tap the Trop for Portent, play Soporific Springs tapped, you'd snap off the back to basics there.
100%.
Bloodstained Mire. What do you reckon that's gonna fetch?
Bloodstained Mire's gonna go get Volk?
No, it's gonna get Swamp.
Ah, yep. You know what?
I can't believe it.
The answer was right there.
Yeah, it was inside us all along.
The answer was right there.
I like the Mishra's Bauble myself to know whether I'm allowed to draw from the Mishra's Bauble or if I want to shuffle it away with the Bloodstained Mire.
Mm-hmm.
And a Manamorphose. So wanting the card immediately this turn.
Make
Getting
2
the
mana.
Storm counter out.
Just in
Okay.
case. 1 blue, 1 black. Inquisition.
Okay.
Oh. Boo. Back
Taking
to
the back to
basics.
basics.
I mean,
Taking the Inquisition as well.
And in my Billinghurst put it straight into the graveyard because he knows there's no other target. You're not taking the consult, you're taking the back to basics. And I think this was a good keep from Billinghurst, but obviously just getting that Inquisition really difficult. There's an argument to have been made for letting the Corey Steelcutter resolve with the Mishra's Bauble to better protect the back to basics.
Yeah.
But how much are you expecting Brennan to rip an Inquisition?
And Brennan not studying hard enough at the school of Richard Owen here, portenting himself.
Yeah.
Honestly, get a Sharpie, alter your copy of Portent. It's not allowed to target yourself.
Target your opponent.
Yeah, it goes face only.
Goes to your opponent only.
So unless we're drawing Black Lotus right now, maybe if that face down card in hand is Black Lotus, I don't see a way to continue. Knowing the Sink into Stupor is in hand, like the only way forward here would be Gush, but that's also a point. Probe, you're still in the same position you were in.
Billinghurst looking a little bit, you can't see too much of him, but the elbows resting on table, head in hands, kind of. Well,
and we're going to see the end of turn consult the star charts here. We're looking at 2 cards, putting one of them in hand. It's Expressive Iteration and a land. That means we're going to untap and we're going to cast Expressive Iteration, surely.
Unless it was a Blood Moon, I would agree with you.
Land, Spell Snare, Bauble?
Yeah. Bauble, exile.
Yeah.
Spell Snare, hand.
I like that, yeah. Cast the Bauble.
Bauble you.
See a random card in hand. There's 3 in hand, so 2/3 odds of seeing something new. You don't need to roll the dice, just pick one. What do you got? You saw the Questing Druid.
Questing Druid. Questing Druid, one of Brennan's 4 creatures in his deck.
I have to ask, did Brennan draw 1 in the upkeep or 2? I think he only drew 1 in the upkeep.
Oh.
Which means he drew from the Portent and not the Bauble, which was cast 5 spells ago.
Ah. Well, sometimes drawing and casting too many spells
gets
you to lose track of things.
That is magic sometimes. You put these cards in your deck and they're complex and difficult.
It's true. Spell Snare, what do you think the target for Spell Snare is here?
Anything. Knight's Whisper, Questing Druid, Grim Monolith.
Grim Monolith would be good.
The problem is that your opponent is probably going to pass and seek the beast on your turn.
Yeah.
Which means that then you're going to have to commit... I mean, it's only 1 mana, but commit that 1 mana on your own turn. Uh, so all three cards in hand for Michael, unknown by Brennan.
Yeah, and it's going to be a land, a spell snare, and something else.
I think I saw 2 lands when I got a glimpse at it.
Uh-oh. Probably one land too many. Ooh, Ponder.
That's always a good draw. We're adding
By
Lutri.
Lutri.
Okay, alright. So, I mean, if the spell snare is the only action you've got, then that's the only one you've got to hold up. You can obviously represent more, but you want something proactive, and the Lutri is that.
Spell snare is going to counter the Seek the Beast side of Questing Druid.
And this is an opportunity for Brennan. This is a pivotal moment where Brennan knows the shields are mostly down. 3 cards in hand. You've got to play around force. Only 1 force. One of the forces is already gone. Daze is already gone as well. And nothing. It was exactly Force of Negation. And Misstep, I suppose.
Yeah.
Jeez, there's a lot of free counter spells.
So many free counter spells. Eris. Now, this is a Billinghurst card if we have ever seen one. This is an Outlaws of Thunder Junction commander card. This is a Eris Roar of the Storm. It costs 2 less for each different mana value amongst instants and sorceries in your graveyard. So this Eris normally would have cost 10, and it only costs 4. Eris also says whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 4/4 red dragon elemental creature token with flying and prowess.
You know, I spent the last 24 hours looking at tokens and what we needed for coverage.
This is not one of them.
I didn't pull out a dragon elemental with flying and prowess.
Well, thankfully,
not gonna lie.
I'm sure Billinghurst has that covered because he knows that this is a card that is in his deck.
Yeah, and Brennan having a read here.
Additionally, with the Ponder in hand, we're gonna get a 4/4 dragon this turn because it'll be the second spell that's cast this turn.
Yeah, that's how Ledger Shredder works and Courier Steel Cutter works. Is you play your second spell matter cards and then a cantrip. Except this one's not making a 1/1 monk with prowess. This is making a 4/4 red dragon with prowess.
It's so true, and you have to have like a Billinghurst card somewhere.
You've got to add some spice, especially for a tournament like this where, you know, you're here to have some fun, hang out. This is 24 people. They worked hard to get here, and there is surprises.
Ponder, trigger.
I hope that Billinghurst said the word trigger here, there. I mean, Brennan gestured to it, so... We don't have the token! Oh, no!
Oh, this is devastating.
Oh, let me dial out for help here. See what we can do.
There's some infinite tokens on the table. I am sure our wonderful table sitter can double check and get to work on making some artistic choices. Brennan just double checking the graveyard, making sure, is that Eris seriously only 4 mana?
Yeah.
And it's true.
I mean, it doesn't need much to be 4 mana. That's 3 different costing instants and sorceries. That's
exactly.
That's really not much. That's entirely perfectly cromulent. Yo, there's a dragon token.
There we go. I told you, Alec was gonna be straight on it.
Tell you what, that
dragon.
Man can draw.
He can. Dragon with flying and prowess. Dark Ritual. Don't love to see that.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You're in Billinghurst, you're like, here's my cool commander card. And then Brennan's like, that's cute.
Cool. Dark Ritual.
Yeah, let me get the storm dice out.
Let me start counting storm.
And this is a Bolus of Citadel for 6 mana, full retail price. The only card in hand here is Sink into Stupor. Billinghurst doesn't know that because it could have been shuffled away with the fetch land.
Brennan making the grabby hands of, oh no. Veil of Summer, always a great rip off of the top of the Citadel.
I can't believe that's the top again.
There's no way.
Wow, you're not playing around.
Can't keep getting away with it, but
Misstep and Force anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, that said, if it was Force, it would have hit the Citadel. If there was Misstep, it would have hit the Veil of Summer.
It's true.
So,
but Brennan again, feeling like he's potentially run out of targets here because something tells me it's a land off of the top of that. You also have to be careful now because Billinghurst now has 8 power on the board.
Yeah, the card on the top is certainly something that has decisions. You know, the fact that you've resolved a Veil of Summer means that anything on the top, like a Ponder or a Sphere or whatever, you're just going to cast it. You're not going to be in the tank.
Yeah.
So last game it was Beseech the Mirror. I don't get the Beseech the Mirror read here. I think that this is a land and we're tanking.
Yeah, land tanking. We're going to look at it again.
That's a tinker.
It's a tinker, which is also what you don't want off the top because...
That's horrible. If you didn't board in Chaos Defiler, then that tinker is very stinky. Stinker. We're going to call it Stinker.
Let's find out, because we are going to tinker sacrificing the Citadel.
You must. It's an additional cost for the spell. You're not allowed to not.
Wow. So like you can't even just cast it, not pay the additional cost, just
Correct.
to clear it off the top. You must, as in it's part of the casting cost.
Absolutely. And it looks like they are getting...
Chaos Defiler.
Kerblam. Chaos Defiler. I will choose that permanent. And then out of that permanent, we're going to choose one of that permanent at random.
Yeah.
Get it off my screen.
Crazy.
Yeah. So a 4-4 against a 5-4.
Well, they'll trade favorably.
They've both got evasion. One's got flying, one's got trample. And that's a Narset.
Let's go, Narset.
Bird Narset, if you will.
Barset?
I think that might be a miss. 3 lands and Harbinger? No,
Soul Guide
Lantern.
Lantern.
Okay. That's a really nice insurance. Here.
Soul Guide Lantern, so nice for the Yogg's Will.
Yeah.
And we are going to play it.
Look, currently, as this race stands, the 4-4 is winning the race. They're both the 4-turn clock, but Billinghurst has priority in the race.
Yeah.
Has the ability to attack first. Also has access to cards like Lightning Bolt.
Very important. Attacking with the dragon.
Apparently, there was 2 more... Oh, Prowess.
Prowess triggers, you have to remember.
Oh, Lord. Okay, yeah, that definitely wins the race then.
Yeah.
I am silly.
I briefly forgot about it, and then went, oh no.
It's because the dragon token right there doesn't have Prowess.
Oh, well, you know what? Time to fire Alec.
Yeah, Alec.
Didn't write Prowess on it.
Improvement needed. Oh, I've actually just got a message in the coverage chat. In case you didn't know the dragons have Prowess, I couldn't fit that on the token.
Well, all is forgiven. We'll hire him back.
Thanks, Alec.
Thank you, Alec.
We'll see you next year for the next one. Oh no, it's dry erased, and it's got dry erased.
Soporific Springs is going to get rid of that token. Pass back to Billinghurst.
Yep, that token sinks. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Steam Vents. So 2 cards in hand for Billinghurst. One of them is Lutri. And this clock now is looking a little bit how you going here. Billinghurst down to 11 after the attack from the Chaos Defiler last turn.
Will be really interesting. No, the Chaos Defiler hit the Narset.
Oh, you're right. Still on 16.
The Chaos Defiler hit the Narset. Brennan said, I would potentially like to draw more cards. Thank you.
Yeah, my deck does that. And this is a main phase. Oh no, an end step, Rulkus Theatre. Keeping on top.
And I think, is that the only card in Brennan's hand right now?
It is.
Wow.
Yeah. This Lutri could feasibly just come down for red zone value.
It could feasibly. I have to imagine that Billinghurst is really trying to hit like a dig through time or treasure cruise value off of it to just try and copy it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to be hitting a lightning bolt off him.
Oh, that as well.
But Brennan, the top card that was the Snapkeep with the Surveil there was a stock up. You know, when you've got 6 lands in play, this card it's a little bit silly.
I saw a Boseiju as well as one of them. And Boseiju, not fantastic. If you target the lantern, you can just sacrifice it in response.
Yeah, I'm not super impressed by the Boseiju here. It is nice insurance, you know, protect you from any blood moon that might come down. Word from our other semi-final. Nathan Smale victorious over Chifley Cole.
Whoa.
That is 4-color Time Walks into the final. 5th place defeating 1st place there. Chifley not going to be reanimating any large creatures in the grand final.
Whoa. Someone's predicting Smale versus Storm.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's discussion channels where that would be one of the matchups of all time. We're seeing a Gitaxian Probe here. Paying the life, and there's a Shadow of Doubt in hand. Oh, buddy.
Ooh. Unideal.
Paying the mana for that Gitaxian Probe, by the way. Respecting the Lutri in hand. The attack value here.
Yeah.
And, like, this could be an end-step Shadow of Doubt Lutri just to draw 2 cards. Like, if your opponent attacks, I think you're definitely doing that.
Brennan thinking very much about going to combat, it seems, and wondering whether or not that's worth with the open face Shadow and Lutri.
Because the Shadow doesn't do anything here.
Yeah, it just draws cards.
But, being able to cycle it and also cycle the Lutri as well would be kind of sick.
Chromatic Sphere.
So no attack, but I think we may... Yeah, alright, we are still going to see this 5 mana, draw 2 cards, players can't search libraries, get a 3/2.
That was 2 lands, it looked like, for Billinghurst as well. It looked like an Otawara and a snow-covered island.
Was it an Otawara or the Mystic Sanctuary?
Oh, it could be an altered Mystic Sanctuary.
We are picking up the graveyard, so I'm sniffing out a Mystic Sanctuary here. And Brennan will also be sniffing out a Mystic Sanctuary here. With the knowledge that Eris is long gone, why else is my opponent looking at the graveyard? Do they play Snapcaster?
Consult on top.
This Consult is a lot better than the one we saw on turn 2.
Now it's basically a dig through time.
Yeah.
Once you reach 7, your Consult the Star charts start turning into dig through times really easily.
Yeah. Okay.
There has to be some other movement in Michael's hand as well, I have to imagine, to, Mystic Sanctuary pass.
I mean, you're definitely not attacking. And Brennan also can't attack. Like, we're at an impasse here. And I think with the Soul Guide Lantern in play, that the weighting favors Billinghurst.
Yeah.
Brennan needs to find things to do. And Billinghurst also needs to find things to do. But if Billinghurst finds things to do, then the game ends on the spot. There's 7 life on the other side. And he's not worried about counter magic from the other side.
Yeah.
We spoke about how powerful the Veil was off the top from the Bolas of Citadel, but that Veil now is gone.
Yeah, it's gone, and if there's something like a Yawgmoth's Will, that Soul Guide Lantern is really going to make sure there's no chance that it resolves again. Sorry,
that was just a cryptic command revealed from the sideboard here from Billinghurst. That is absurd. This player was playing cryptic command in the main deck.
I was going to say, it's not even a sideboard card.
Get it out of here. No wonder it's sideboarded out.
This is such a great choice, though. I love cryptic command. The triple blue is such an intense requirement, but in a deck like this, it's not too bad, but it's certainly a Billinghurst choice.
Yeah, 2019 called. They want their Bomb 4 drop back. So, considering an attack here for Brennan.
How did that cryptic command get flipped over?
I think perhaps Brennan was asking, are you going to cryptic command bounce your Mystic Sanctuary to then Mystic Sanctuary the cryptic command?
Interesting.
And continue,
Yeah, and Billinghurst said,
the real
I'm not psychotic.
Yeah. I mean, you could also do that with Gush. Obviously, that costs you some points. Thoughtseize is the play.
I was correct. It is an Otawara.
And Mystic Sanctuary, both.
But also, this is so devastating. Brennan is going to go down to 5, but now he knows there is nothing stopping him. He can just chug on straight ahead. There is no counter magic. It doesn't seem like there's anything, actionable for Brennan to do, but at least he knows that anything that, for the time being, it's going to be a Consult the Star charts in hand until Billinghurst resolves it. Otherwise, it's 2 lands.
There is a line here. And it's a modal line. There's 2 options.
Okay.
This attack. Well, now... Sorry, if this Lutri connects, then Consult the Star Charts can find Lightning Bolt for lethal. But what I was going for is...
I would love that.
End step Otawara my Lutri, untap, Consult, kick, Lutri, dig through time twice.
Yeah.
Or even just Consult, find Lightning Bolt, and then Lutri my Lightning Bolt.
Beseech.
So we have
Beseech. Chaos Defiler. How about you sacrifice the Soul Guide Lantern to get rid of the graveyard?
Yeah, so the Defiler trigger happens first. This is the trigger happens in response to the Beseech the Mirror.
Yeah.
Which we might pull up on the screen here. And that means that before the tutor resolves, this Soul Guide Lantern has to decide what it's doing. It's been targeted. It's not going to be in play once the next item is off the stack.
Mm-hmm.
The question is it on Billinghurst's terms or is it on Brennan's?
Yeah.
And look, you'd be pretty happy with eating this graveyard here, surely.
I don't see why you wouldn't.
You wouldn't... you could Otawara it so that you have protection for a future turn. Oh, and we get the consult. Drawing the consult from the... Oh, sacking the Soul Guide Lantern to draw a card instead of to bomb the graveyard.
Oh, wow. I did see there was a Blood Moon, a Red Elemental Blast.
Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Ooh, Jace the Mind Sculptor. There was a Flame of Anor, but that doesn't, it'd be great if Flame of Anor targeted face, but it's only creatures.
I mean, it can counter the Beseech the Mirror, and that might just be good enough. But again, Billinghurst doesn't know the contents of the sideboard like we do. He might be worried about, oh, gee, if I take Flame of Anor and counterspell this Beseech the Mirror and my opponent has a Hydroblast, I'm really in the thick of it.
And Brendan is well holding up that Underground Sea, perhaps trying to psych Billinghurst out into thinking that's exactly what has, what could happen. I don't hate here. If you're going to take the counterspell, play the counterspell.
That's the thing, right? Like, whatever you're taking, you need to do something, and you don't have the luxury of representing or choosing other options. And we have a Sink into Stupor.
Sink into Stupor on the Beseech the Mirror, so that's just going to go back to Brennan's hand.
That's really important. Like, typically, you return a spell to hand. It kind of sucks because your opponent gets to play it again, and there's no downsides. Bouncing the Beseech means that it's an additional cost needs to be paid again if you want it.
Yeah, Lutri is going to attack as well. We'll make sure those life totals get updated because Brennan should be on 2 here.
Yep, the players know that. We know that.
Yeah. And Brennan as well, shaking that top card. Really needs it to be something impactful. If Brennan commits to playing the Beseech the Mirror again to go and tutor, Billinghurst has the counter, and that'll be game, and we'll go to game 3.
There's still this Otawara in hand as well. Face up, known to both players.
There we go.
You could be worried about this Beseech getting Lotus and the other card in hand being Yawgmoth's Will. Like, that would be the ideal here for Brennan.
Yeah.
Not really a way to bargain this unless you drew, a Mox Opal or Lotus Petal or something like that.
Yeah, so it looks like we're just going to cast it again. Brennan thinking really hard. Brennan, a known thinker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look, I'm not saying that Brennan was one of the last players playing in most of the rounds. Actually, he wasn't this time. That's a exile 2 cards. You can play them this turn.
Reckless Impulse.
Thank you.
And Wan Shi Tong.
X2, so we're going to be drawing a card here. This is the...
Ooh, is this bird a wizard?
Yeah, but the flame was put on the bottom.
Ah, I thought the flame was taken.
No, the Sink into Stupor was taken. We'll get this this silly bird up on the screen again.
Is that Tendrils and...
Tendrils, Misty Rainforest.
Ah, you don't like to see a Tendrils in that spot.
Yeah. Yeah, like you're in a position where maybe you just cast this Tendril. Storm is 3, so you're going to gain 6 life. But also put it into your graveyard because you don't want it to leave it. You don't want to leave it in exile.
No.
Leaving this card in exile here it's a paddling.
Really difficult decision as well because Brennan's likely... he's going to have to commit to the Tendrils, gain the 6, but between the Wan Shi Tong and the Lutri, with no other threats on board for Brennan, that still just sends him dwindling.
We're talking about the turn where the Chaos Defiler got beseeched away and targeted the Soul Guide Lantern, and Billinghurst had this choice of which mode to use on the Soul Guide Lantern. That's the most powerful.
Mm-hmm. Huge aura, as they would say. Huge aura from Billinghurst. Looks like Brennan fetching down to 1 off of the Misty Rainforest.
Yeah, it's all on the line here. Going down to 1 against 2 lethal creatures. And I think this just has to be Tendrils.
Has to be Tendrils here to gain the life. Is it going to be Beseech?
Okay, Beseech for Lotus to get a little bit more life and damage. And so Beseech is 3. Lotus will be 4. Tendrils will be 5, so that'll be 10.
Is being at 11 going to save Billinghurst?
And then they were going to draw another card from the Wan Shi Tong as well.
Yeah.
So this Wan Shi Tong's got a lot of value this turn.
And also, every card that Billinghurst draws is a potential nether counterspell.
Yeah.
It's a potential grabbing, actual factual counterspell.
Yeah.
It's it's a chance that it's a mana drain. It's invert polarity.
Oh, what a dope card.
What a great card.
Nice
Invert.
Lotus.
Nice Lotus.
We flip.
What if it was mine?
I'll flip you for your Lotus.
I'll flip you for your Lotus. Flip for the Lotus. Whoever wins keeps it for realsies. For realsies, no take-backsies.
Wow. No, we don't antsy. Not since 1994 or something like that. But geez, what a game too.
Let's go, Billinghurst. And this is something that I actually really love about the Moons deck. It is actually quite flexible. And the way that Billinghurst has built this deck as well, from what I can see in the main deck and the sideboard, is to be able to play a little bit more of that long-term grindy creature value and actually forget, still play the control aspect, but present threats. Against something like Storm that runs, the threat is Bolas the Citadel Tendrils. The threat is spells, not creatures. These creatures put Brennan to 1. And I love that this is something that the way that Billinghurst has built this deck reflects. And again, main deck, Cryptic Command, it's obviously in the sideboard now, but main deck Cryptic Command, it is such a different game that Moons is playing in this matchup. And I absolutely love it.
Well, they're going to be reconsidering their sideboarding as we go into game 3. This is it. There's no more chances to make any changes to your deck, and neither of them went to their sideboard. I gotta tell you,
they started shuffling and they said, "Let's go again."
Yeah.
Well, and again, it is so impressive that Brennan is, not only trying to make Storm work with the recent points update, but is proving that Storm still works with the points update.
The difference is,
it's not as fast.
In my humble opinion,
sure.
Storm was a notch above the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Now it is in with the rest. Mm-hmm. It's now in the position where if you sleep on it and don't have options in your sideboard, say if you cut your Flusterstorm and your Asher on the day of the tournament.
I was just going to say, if you make the decision, well, not even the day of, they had to make this decision last night.
2 weeks ago, you would have sideboard cards for Storm and lose to it. Today, you didn't pack your sideboard cards for Storm and lost to it.
And game 3, I was saying to Ian earlier, I'm so happy and excited to see so many of these games going to game 3.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of game 3s today.
It is really a reflection on the skill of these players and how great it has been to see over the course of a year, these players, kind of differentiate from the rest.
Yeah, you picked 24 really good players. How did you make the decision of who to invite to this invitation?
It's so crazy. So I laid out this year-long system alongside the magnanimous Trent Clark.
Yep.
And it was a points-based system where for each event that you played, you could earn a number of points depending on your standing. And at the end of the year, we would invite the top 24 highest ranked points players.
That sounds wild. That sounds like a Charlie Day in front of the whiteboard with red string going everywhere.
Well, and interestingly, so in the points standings as of, the end of November's event, so the standings as of the top 24 who got invited, Brennan placed 5th overall in points and Billinghurst placed 2nd.
Do you think that the points had the right amount of granularity?
That is something that has been discussed a bit. I opened up a... Maybe foolishly, I opened up a Google survey to let people tell me their opinions because, Highlander players famously opinionless people who don't have much to say.
Yeah, no, they've never
complained or
No, we've never had
opinions.
problems with that in the past. No.
I've had a revolutionary idea, Joe, but I think Brainstorm should get pointed. But we've considered the way that the points are kind of spread out. The way that it kind of broke down in terms of who received an invite and who might not have. Anyone who won an invitational is at this one. Mm-hmm. Anyone who won any of the series of events because you won 30 points for winning.
Yep.
And the lowest point ranked player was 27 points in the invitational.
After pass downs, yeah.
After pass downs.
Well, if we slip back to the action here, we've had a couple of land goes. We've had a bauble, which saw an expressive iteration. And then Brennan played a tropical island and decided not to play a tropical island. I
love the hesitation there of tap 2, expressive iteration, Billinghurst pauses, and Brennan just starts moving it towards the graveyard.
Oh, yeah. We got an end step fetch and a island cycle here.
I love this movement to take 2 cards out of the deck.
Yeah. And Brennan does have Black Lotus in hand. That was not a card revealed to the Urza's bauble. Do you think we're seeing a 3-drop here from Billinghurst? Without seeing the Blood Moon in hand just then.
I really really want back to basics, but it's going to be a Blood Moon. It looks like even if it was a back to basics, hitting 2 lands would be so great for Billinghurst at this moment. The Black Lotus does make things a little bit more awkward, but resolving a Blood Moon here, absolutely fantastic. There's no counter spell. There's no counter magic. Hey, Brennan, those mountains look awesome.
Yeah.
Those are some cool mountains you've got there.
It's also a cool Blood Moon. Can I just say, the original from the Dark.
Yeah.
Not even going for the Chronicles white border reprint, not any of this 8th ed, 9th ed, Modern Masters. We have the original and the best, except no substitutes. Blood Moon.
What is the moon shines darkest? The moon shines brightest in the dark.
Well, Brennan says, that's cool. Can I play my old cool ass card?
My cool card that maybe costs a little bit more than your old cool
card. It's
white
bordered. It's not the first printing, so I'm not impressed.
Sacrificing the Black Lotus, going to add.
That's how much he cares about the card. Now, whatever.
Ooh, Inquisition as well. Please say back to basics. Yes!
Ain't no way.
Back to basics, invert polarity, Eris, dig through time and a mountain. Brennan now struggling to figure out what to take. Surely it's the back to basics at this point.
So looking in the graveyard here, there is 2 instants and sorceries with different costs. That means that Eris costs 6. If you take invert polarity, that Eris is coming down next turn.
Oh, that's actually that's so difficult. It really puts you in a this is messed up. I think back to basics is the correct choice, but an open-faced invert polarity is just insane.
On the flip side, whatever you take
Storm Scale Scion.
Dig Through Time was available. Hey, a 4/4 dragon.
2 4/4 dragons.
Yeah, we need another one of them. They're all going to be lords. We're going to put them on the screen here. So that is actually 3 6/6 dragons.
Yikes. Is it other? So it's other dragons get +1/+1.
Correct.
Jeez Louise.
Nice 3-drop. Here's my 6-drop. Thanks for all the red mana, bozo.
Thanks for all the red mana. Well, and Billinghurst now really pressed to get Eris online so he can start dumping dragons out onto the board as well.
Does he have the time? That's the question.
It's so difficult. This is literally a 2-turn clock.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's even worse than that. It's 2 turns through a blocker.
Yikes. Turns out, there's a world in which that back to basics would have been better than the Blood Moon. And again,
true.
I always say back to basics.
Yeah. Can you really put your opponent on Black Lotus and Stormscale Scion as 2 of the cards in hand? Like, sure, they've got 6 cards in hand, but that's so many cards as we swap out a dragon for another dragon.
Well, the other token didn't have a dragon drawn on it. It just said 4/4. So Alec putting in the hard yards to draw a second dragon.
These dragons almost tessellate. It's like the one on our right is breathing another dragon.
Yes, it's true.
Very cool. Can you imagine that? It's like Ouroboros, but dragons.
Difficult position for Billinghurst to be in right now. I do not envy him at all.
Can't cast that Eris. Yep, it's going to be Dig Through Time.
Dig Through Time.
And that blanks the Eris in hand.
Yeah.
For a while at the very least.
Wondering what Billinghurst is hoping to draw off of this.
Fire Magic plus Bolt.
Yeah, Fire Magic gives you...
Still not be enough.
Because 6, you'd have to deal 6 to everything, right? Like, it just...
Yeah, once you remove one of them, then the job gets easier. So maybe like a Sink into Stupor. Obviously, you don't have the time.
Look, let me tell you, I would have loved for that invert polarity to hit that Stormscale Scion. That would have felt so much better.
Well, for one of you, it would have.
Yeah.
Brennan's like, oh man, I'm glad I got this under the invert polarity.
Under the invert. This is what they would call difficult, lemon difficult, with 3 dragons on the side.
Yeah, that's a lot of power. That's 18 damage coming across. There was also a Prismatic Vista that was fetched, so we're going down to 1 life.
My goodness.
Big swing. And we have an end step.
Whoa.
Red Blast, daze the Red Blast. There's now 3 costs in the graveyard. Brennan giving him a round of applause.
My lord. There's one thing that you don't want.
Okay, so now we can play Land Eris.
Land Eris Bauble? And that'll do it. There's nothing left to do
GGs.
with all of those dragons on the board.
Wow. So we got super excited for a cool turn 3 Blood Moon after countering a 2-drop. And Brennan didn't care.
Look, I just said it 30 seconds ago. I've said it again. In most situations, I'm playing the back to basics over the Blood Moon.
There was a time when Back to Basics was pointed, and Blood Moon was not.
Wow.
Yeah, one of them was more splashable than the other as well. So let that say something.
Look,
well, that was our semi-final.
That was a semi-final. Brennan Crawford is going to the finals, and it is going to be Nathan Smale on 4-color walks against Brennan Crawford on Storm.
Yeah, look, if there was one vocal person who didn't like Storm in the entire 7-Point Highlander community, we found him and we've given him his worst nightmare for a grand final matchup.
Yep.
But either way, he's taken home a cool prize. We've got a Acadian Masks foil Brainstorm for first place. I don't know what's second.
Second is it the Beta Dark Ritual is second?
It might be the Beta Dark Ritual.
The Beta Dark Ritual is second.
Sick.
Oh no, it's a foiled. It's a Nemesis foiled Days is for second.
Sick.
So lots of cool prizes for our first and second players. That is going to wrap us up for our semifinals. We'll be back shortly with our final match.